Hello everyone, Tasha here, and you're watching Tasha's Fandom 13. First off, I just want to apologize for being absent for about a little over a week. I have been sick. With the weather change and everything, I started feeling under the weather, and then my daughter got sick. So definitely feeling much better today. And I'm also going to do things a little bit differently. So I want to release a series of randomness videos, all usually about different fandoms, not necessarily my top 13. Except for this one, I realized that I actually never explained what my top 13 were, unless you actually went and checked out my website, so definitely do that. But I'm going to go ahead and just name them off and explain why I picked them. So for number 13, I picked The Strain. I picked this one just because I love how they went back to the original vampire idea of being just a bloodthirsty, killing monster, like the ones in Blade 2. Um, not no restraint on age or sex or anything, but just wanting to kill instead of just lustful creatures that a lot of shows and movies have been doing lately. For number 12, I did pick Stranger Things. I picked this one just because I love how they mixed a bunch of different genres together to create this show. Supernatural, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, all this kind of stuff. And so I really like how they did that. For number 11, I picked Red Dwarf. I do love my British humor. I picked this one just because I love how they think what life could be like out in space. Um, Definitely an interesting show to watch. They have started a new season a few weeks ago, so check it out if you never seen it before. For number 10, I picked Farscape. I picked this one just because I just like the characters themselves, the different alien creatures. You're basically taking a guy, an astronaut, and flinging him out through a wormhole into a different part of space, not knowing where he is, being stuck with these different alien creatures, and basically learning how to work together. But yeah, I definitely like it. But number 9, I picked Stargate. Now, when I say Stargate, I pretty much mean any Stargate. So I really love the movie. It was done very well, and then they did a spin-off series called Stargate SG-1. That um, went, I think, like 9 seasons. Definitely good show. And then they had a couple more spin-offs after that. So you got Stargate Universe, um, as well as Stargate Atlantis. Um, Definitely good shows. They didn't last quite as long, but definitely good shows. Uh, Number 8, Firefly. So if you haven't noticed, I kind of have a space theme going on here. I do like space, but I also like sci-fi. So it's kind of a good mix to get. But for Firefly, I like because they kind of put like a Western theme to it, like a um, kind of like space cowboys kind of thing. Definitely a good show. I'm really sad that it only lasted 1 season. I did like the movie though. I believe that they're making another one that should be coming out. Um, I'm definitely gonna have to look that one up just to be sure, so don't quote me on that. But definitely a good show. For number 7, I picked Fear the Walking Dead. Just like its predecessor, I love, uh, the original idea of a bio, um, like a biomedical reason that there is, biovirus. There you go. For the dead walking, it's not like a curse or anything like that. And they're able to get really gory. So because I picked that one for number 6, I also picked The Walking Dead. So I know it started off as a comic. Haven't read it all, but I definitely read a good chunk of it, and it's definitely much more gory in the comics. But the fact that they're still able to recreate a lot of the scenes with just as much blood and gore, I think they did a really good job, and so I really like those shows. Number 5, I picked Supernatural, not just because everybody, has gotten into it. I started watching it when it was only in its 5th season. Definitely good show. I love how they take the story of two brothers fighting monsters, trying to save the world and all that kind of stuff. It did get a little, I feel like it kind of got off track when it started doing the whole angels and demons thing. But the fact that they still kind of bring it back and they still kind of, they still hunt monsters and things like that in between, I definitely like that. Number 4, I picked Star Trek. Star Trek anything. So movies, shows, all that kind of stuff. And if you saw my other video about Star Trek Discovery, you can tell I know enough. I'm not a huge Trekkie, but I definitely like my Star Trek. I love the different shows. I've seen every single episode of TNG, um, the Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, and then hopefully this new one, Discovery. So number 3, I actually picked Doctor Who. Um, Now, I started with the new series, so Christopher Eccleston was actually my first Doctor. I do love Peter Capaldi as his current Doctor. He does an amazing job. I did try to see some of the past episodes from the classic series. It was a little hard to get through for the first few seasons just because technology-wise, and also they didn't have the budget to really go back and edit a lot. So they had to just keep going through it. So a lot of times it was a bit choppy and a bit kind of stiff. But overall, great show altogether, especially this new series. I actually cannot wait. Which they actually have a spin-off show called The Class that's coming out, or Class, which I'm also going to be talking about in a different video. But yeah, can't wait to see that either. So number 2, I picked Star Wars. And yes, I am one of those people that love Star Wars and Star Trek. Star Wars is number 2, reason being it's been a big part of my life. I've actually watched it at a very young age and continue to watch it, and was always there for the opening and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, I love it. I love that. I love how they have, these spin-off shows, how they did, Clone Wars, and then they also are now doing Rebels, and the new movies coming out and everything. They're doing a really good job, so I really love that. And the only other thing that would top that one in my fandoms would be my number 1, which is Disney. And when I say Disney, yes, I mean Disney anything. So I don't watch a lot of the shows on the Disney Channel. But I do watch some of them, and but I'm more into like Disney movies, the Disney parks, all that kind of stuff, Disney products. I love going to the Disney store, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, so that is actually my top 13. Now, it can change at any time. When new shows and stuff comes out, when I start getting into more things, I've actually have gone back into kind of the DC world and started kind of going into like Luke Cage, also, Daredevil and the Arrow and the Flash. So those actually might eventually make my list. So it can change at any time. If you want to see a little bit more, if I do change it, I'm not going to do another video on this, but I will change it up on my website, so you could definitely check that out. But I would love to know what your thoughts are. Would love to hear what your top favorite fandom is. It doesn't have to be the top 13, but your number 1. But yeah, just let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And then you can also check me out on Facebook, Tasha's Fandom, and on Twitter at Tasha's Fandom 13. And then, like I said, go ahead and check out my website just by clicking the link in the description below. But that is all for today. So until next time.